Welcome to the Joycehanger instruction video. My name is Tim Wood, and I invented this system to make it easier for everyday people to design and build their own bookcases or entertainment systems. I have followed the old adage that form fits function to a T. I have brackets that allow boards to be affixed at angles necessary to build shelving systems without the worry of how to connect the boards together. Let's take a look. The very first bracket that I invented is what I call the JH270. This bracket allows either 2 or 3 boards to slide into the bracket and then be connected together and then supported to the wall. As pointed out in this illustration, I've used white and black melamine boards to show what a clean angle you can create and how easy it is to create a horizontal shelving system. What this also points out is that the vertical is on top of every horizontal. That means that the whole shelving system you design is supported by the floor, not by the bracket. The other application to a JH270 is if you want to create a vertical partition within a shelving system where there's nothing supported underneath and you want to have a vertical upright, you would use JH270. The next bracket is called the JH360. This allows a horizontal board to come in and then 2 vertical uprights, allowing them to be in alignment and then be able to connect to the wall. This is an illustration using white and black again that you can have a nice clean look, all supported together, and then attach the wall with a bracket in the back. Now, most systems are not going to go all the way to the system unless designed it to go that way, so you're going to need to have a top corner. Top corner is generally going to be 90 degrees. So I invented this bracket called the JH90, which allows the vertical to come in this section and the horizontal to come in this section. What this illustration shows the proper way to install it. The horizontal needs to be on top of the vertical, so where the top shelf is supported by the uprights, not by the bracket, and then the bracket is attached to the wall. All of these systems, all these brackets create a system that lets the floor support the weight of all the melamine and what's on it, but the shelving system has to start someplace and be attached to the floor if that's the type of system you're going to design. So I invented a JH180. This would be going your first vertical piece of shelving. It goes along the edge of the first piece of shelving, so it's butted up against the wall here and allows you to attach the whole assembly to the floor. So we go up against the wall, you'd attach it to the floor, and then everything else, depending on the type of system you're going to have on your wall, would go off of the vertical uprights, whether it be 1 or 2 or 3, depending on how you have your system set up. But that way everything that's connected is interconnected and then connected to the floor. There are other products that need to go along with this to make it easier for you to assemble any type of bookcase system that you have. What I have pictured here is 3 different types or colors of the melamine boards. You got a brown, white, and black. They have other colors available too. Plus, you can get wood and paint it. You can also get different colored woods that you can get veneered plywood. This allows you to build as a high quality bookcase as a highly trained professional. What you also see here is the boards are cut, and to make it easier for you, you can go right to the box store just like I did and have them cut boards the exact length you need for your system. If you've been through my website, you'll see that I have a project calculator which allows you to draw out your schematic of what you want your bookcase or entertainment or whatever system you wanted, and help you determine the lengths of the boards and the number of joints and the type of brackets you need for your system. But if you're not sure of the lengths, you're not sure exactly that that's what you want to do, you can fax your project calculator to us. We'll figure out exactly what you need and send back to you a laundry list, including the lengths of the wood and the brackets needed to complete your project. To go along with the project, you need to be able to attach your brackets to the wall. There's holes in the back of the brackets to allow you to attach the wall. I use a little tiny anchor, and you can use this type of anchor because the floor is taking the load, not the wall. This type of anchor screws right in the wall with your screw gun. Everything I've showed you so far went together with a screw. I haven't used a saw because I had the box store cut the wood for me. This allows you to be able to just keep using your drill to attach it to the wall. To affix your brackets to the shelving, I use a special kind of screw. This is called a self-drilling screw. It has a special tip on it which actually cuts into the boards, making it easier for you to drill your screw into the wood. Melamine is incredibly hard. Even if you decide to go hardwood, anything that hard, to make your assembly easier, I use a self-drilling screw. Also at the website I have available is 2.5-inch lag bolts with a washer. If you were going to be aggressive and design a system that allowed shelving that was attached at one side and just went off to the other side and not be attached with another vertical, you would use a JH180. And like it explains in the website, everywhere that shelving crossed the stud, you would have to lag this bracket to the stud. And you'd lag the bracket to the stud with the support base on top of the shelving, not below, on top. So we have the lag bolts. We also suggest that you use a drill bit extender. Because of the getting the drill in, proximity to the wall and the shelving brackets, it's easier to use a drill extension. So we suggest that you use one of these. Now, if you're looking at these systems that I have set up, you should be able to see the screw heads. Now, even though there's a white shelving, a white bracket, you may not want to see these screw heads. So, available through the website is a washer and cap system so that the screw heads actually can match the color of the bracket. And the way that works is there's a little tiny washer that goes with the screw, and then after you've completed it, you just snap the cap onto the washer. Now I happen to use a black one so you can see it, but we have white and black caps, and if you wanted to have specialty colors to match a specialty color bracket that you would want, we can do that for you also. And that concludes this part of the video. The next part will include an assembly of a bookcase so you can see how easy this system is.